This is Dion Evans, head coach of South City Football, and you are listening to the South San Francisco Football Podcast. My special guest today is one of our seniors. His name is Angel Prieto. Angel, am I saying that last name right?
Yeah, you're saying it pretty good. It's Prieto, but it sounds the same.
Prieto?
Yeah.
All right. I usually say Prieto, so it's Prieto. I'm big on saying the names right, man. How you doing today?
Good.
I'm glad that you're here with us on the South City Podcast. We was able to reach out to two of your teammates, and we did interviews with them, Luigi Bernardino and Carlos Marquez. And when it both came to nominating the next athlete that I should interview, they both said Angel is our guy. So welcome. How you doing today, man?
Been chilling, just watching college football.
Oh, really? You got to catch me up. I've been at the combine all day with your freshman teammates. What was going on in college football today? How'd it go?
I was just watching the Georgia and the Florida game. It was going back and forth. The last time I checked, Florida took the lead.
That's what's up. I know that the Oregon-Stanford game just started. UCLA right now is getting beat down by Colorado. And I saw that Notre Dame, like in the first minute of the game, scored a long touchdown on Clemson, who doesn't have Trevor Lawrence. That's just the highlights I got since I've been home. I'll catch up with it all later on. Today, we want to interview you and have a little conversation with you. Tell me a little bit about your football journey. What got you involved in football?
Honestly, I wasn't even supposed to play. My parents didn't want to let me play coming into high school. I went to the first day of summer conditioning behind their back. They didn't really know about it.
Wow.
And then after that, I didn't go because I knew they were going to let me. And then it took my friend's parents, Christian Rios, at the game. And then they talked to me while I wasn't playing. And then they basically just that they were going to talk to my dad and basically figure out like a way to like let me play.
That's interesting because every year when we were trying to bring in new athletes, this again, my first year at South City, we've been able to bring in a lot of new athletes, but there's been a lot of concerns about football, a lot of propaganda about football. Man, how did you have the guts to go behind your parents' back to go to, summer football? What was in you, man? That's rare. Coaches love it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Coaches love it. We know it's a risk, but we love it. What made you, what's in you, man, that made you like, you know what? I know my parents may not want me to play football. I'm going out there though today. What made you do that?
8th grade, I was at Parkway Heights Middle School. We just play football like before school started and then at lunch. And then it got banned because someone got hurt. And then after that, I just kept playing it on my own. And then, I don't know, all my friends were doing it, so I wanted to do it.
So tell me a little bit about your journey at South City. You're now in your senior year. I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what football has been like for you. And I'm always intrigued by kids like you because you're now in your 4th year of a football program. And it takes a lot of fortitude to stay on a football team for 4 years. Tell me a little bit about your journey. And let's just get a little bit about your journey. Then we'll talk a little bit about your expectations.
Freshman year, I didn't get my physical done probably till like the 2nd or 3rd game, but even like the whole freshman year, I didn't really get that much playing time. They already had their starters and everything. I was just playing scout team, and then sophomore year, they said they were going to keep me on JV, and one of my coaches, he basically just coached me up, and then but I didn't make grades that year. I did fit about like 0.2, like I barely missed grades. And my coach coached me up, and then basically mid-season, before my first game, because we started late, so non-eligible kids only got to play like 2 or 3 games. So, but like right before that week started, they told me I was going up to varsity. And
wow.
Then basically,
go ahead. I want to hear you.
Just went. Well, I was already good with friends with like everyone from varsity. Like I always had a good connection with everyone there. So it was just like, I just flew in. I just like strided into it because I was like staying at the practice to practice with them. I was lifting weights with them already. So it was just natural.
Now you brought up a very important point to me that I think is worth digging into. You talked about how you couldn't play the first half of the season because of grades. Tell me what it was like being told that your freedom to play a sport was taken away because of academics not being where they were supposed to be. What was the emotion? What was you going through?
I mean, I was just mad because I turned everything in, but it's just that one class I slipped up in, and then it just ended up affecting me, and I was just mad that I couldn't play because it was like more than half the season. It was like, honestly, we only got to play like 2 or 3 games, so it was like we played Hillsdale, Kings Academy, and then just Bell game. That was it.
Mm-hmm. And so what did you do? Now, you were ineligible. You couldn't play, but you didn't quit. I love that about you, man. Ineligible, couldn't play. When you can, if you do get it right, you're only going to get a handful of games, but you didn't quit. What made you turn the table academically to ensure you could get on the field and play?
Well, like once I got into sophomore year, I just told myself I'm gonna make grades. And then ever since then, like that year, I think I had like a 3.0 at least. And I just kept maintained it the whole year. I just wanted to play. That's the only reason why I like kept my grades up the whole year, is because I wanted to play the whole year.
So football influenced you to take your academics more serious.
Yeah, for sure.
And see, that's why we call you guys student athletes, because if you put the student first, you'll never have a problem with the athletics. And I always say, you don't want anybody to take away your sports freedom, your athletic freedom. You got to handle the academic stuff. You got to take care of that. Man, I applaud you. Not too many guys can go ineligible and do what it takes to get eligible. Some just fall apart by the wayside. I'm glad to see that you didn't fall for that trap. You just said, look, I know I could do it. Let me get it done so this never happens again. Oh, let me ask this question. Has it ever happened again?
No, it hasn't happened. Last year I had like a 3.68, and then this year I had a 4.0 all year. So
that's what's up. So what's your current grade point average?
Right now, 4.0.
Guess what I'm talking about. And you're in your senior year.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about some of the positions. What's your favorite position to play, and what is the best position you play?
I played like a mix of things like throughout the 4 years, but like what I played mostly through all high school was mostly receiver. That's always been really fun. I went to this like passing academy like for wide receivers and quarterbacks, and Aesop Winston from Washington State was there, and Anthony Gordon. So ever since then, like I just stepped my game up.
You said Aesop Winston.
Yeah.
You know his mother lives in South City, right?
Yeah. His sister went to South City too, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I know his mother is a personal friend of mine. I got to make sure that I reach out to her and get Aesop to come check us out at South City. He needs to put in some work in the city.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Speaking of athletes, when we went through getting numbers, you kind of shocked me because you said, Coach, I want number 24. And every time I run into a kid who wants number 24, it's always connected to Marshawn Lynch wanting to be beast mode and all that type of stuff. So when you said you wanted number 24, I assume maybe you were part of that mold. You said, nah, I ain't got nothing to do with it, Coach. Tell the people why you chose number 24.
Honestly, it just started out as like a Kobe thing at first, because I used to play basketball like from, I would say, like 5th grade to like 8th grade. So I was just really heavy into basketball, and I just always wore 24. I always wore like Kobe basketball shoes, and then I just been wearing it ever since, like every sport, soccer, football, and then yeah.
I guess, you know, we got Twitter connection with Marshawn Lynch mom. I wonder why he wears 24. Maybe he wears 24 for the same reason you wear 24. Wouldn't that be ironic?
Pretty ironic.
So tell the people a little bit. You know, we're like in the beginning of phase 2 of our conditioning and things of that nature. You have been, I don't think you've missed a practice, not one. You're always on time, never late. What has this new program at South City? What does it mean to you, and where do you think we're going?
I mean, it means everything, honestly, because it's my senior season. I want to get my experience, my first varsity win, my first touchdown, my first everything, basically, and just everything's like more organized. There's a lot more energy going on in the practice. So hopefully we could keep it up. Like I feel like once we win a game, that's going to bring the intensity of way up, and then we're just going to keep winning.
That's what's going on, man. That's what I like. Now, what did it feel like earlier this week? Daylight Savings Day happened last week. So now the practices that we were already having, the time frame, we had all the sun in the world. Now, when your particular cohort starts to practice, the lights are coming on. Talk about the first day, Monday, when while you were standing on the field, the lights start coming on, the darkness was starting to surround us, and the only thing illuminated was the field. What did that feel like? What did you sense was going on with the team?
I just feel like the energy goes up. Like everyone just likes to play like under the lights. Like it just gives you like a feeling like that you want to just play as hard as you can, just keep going, catch everything. Basically, just don't give up through your drills.
Right. Are there any other things outside of football? Are there any other sports you play?
When I was little, like when I was like four through like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. I played soccer, and then I took a break, and then I started playing baseball for like 2 or 3 years, and then I picked up on basketball like sixth grade, and then I just kept playing, and then football like started in high school.
We talked a little bit about you kind of throughout your matriculation through football, you've been doing wide receiver. You've gone to a couple of wide receiver quarterback camps and things of that nature. And this year, we're kind of looking at you in some defensive areas. You're one of the only players that on my current assessment that I see getting any amount of real time on offense and defense. Number one, how do you feel about that? Knowing that out of all of your teammates, you're like, at one point, you were the only athlete on the team I saw was going to get offense and defensive reps respectively. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
It felt really good because like there's time for me to play on both offense and defense. So it just felt like an honor that I need to like step it up, keep working basically just to get better.
So what are your goals on offense? Let's start there. What are your goals? Give me 3 goals that you have on offense.
This whole year, I'm trying to score at least like 5 touchdowns if I can. Defense, I want to get a pick, and then maybe like a receiving touchdown too. So
right. Well, I was thinking, what do we do? Like a lot of the colleges, they have the turnover chain. I saw one college, they had the turnover throne. I saw a college that had a turnover crown. What do you think is something that would be super dope for us to do for the defensive side of the ball? That if a turnover happens, a sack, a fumble, what can we do creatively that you think the team would really rally around?
I don't even know, to be honest. That's pretty hard, but I always like the chain idea.
All right.
That me.
So give me three goals you have, 3 personal goals you have for defense.
I want to get a sack for sure, a pick, and force a fumble.
Like I told your teammate Carlos Marquez when he gave me his goals on offense, I don't think you're going to have a problem reaching those goals. I say every one of your goals, offense and defense, all 6 of those goals, I believe you can accomplish in the first 3 games. So I think, it may be what you do for the first time, but I think in all 6 of those goals that you have, I think those will be habits that you will bring to our football team. I believe you have that in you. And I'm looking forward to watching your development as an athlete. Let's switch reels real quick. I happen to have the privilege of interviewing you on the very day that we have a change in the presidency in the United States of America. So let's switch a little political. What are your thoughts on what's going on politically from your perspective? You can't vote. You're depending upon us as adults to help create a future for you that's going to be bright. What are your thoughts about the current political climate of what's going on?
I mean, I never really liked Trump as our president. Obviously, I want Trump out of office. I'd rather have Biden in than him, but I'm not like a big like fan of like politics. But as long as like Trump's out of there, I just want things just be normal, just live my life.
Just live their life, be no. Like, look, I don't care who wins. It could be the Green Party. Just get Trump out. Would you have voted for Kanye? Kanye was on there as vice president. Would you have voted for him?
Hell no. Nah.
That's what's up. I find that kind of stuff interesting. And it kind of like smacks in the face of leadership. Man, stick with your rhyme, stick with your wife and kids. Leave leading the globe alone. Let's I went on Facebook and I hit up a couple of people on my Facebook page. And I said, if you could ask a high school football player a question, what would it be? I had a real good one here from a friend of mine named John Walker. John Walker asked, where do you see yourself going if football doesn't work out beyond college? Where do you see yourself going?
I already kind of have a backup plan. Like I always wanted to be a mechanic. My brother does it too. And like I always been into cars. So like a mechanic or like something to do like sports analyst, my bad.
Oh, well, that's interesting because Wayne Wilson, a personal friend of mine, he does the ring announcers in boxing, ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner is so and so and so and so. Wayne Wilson does that kind of stuff. He's excellent at it and does a lot of stuff in mixed martial arts as well as boxing. He asked this question of you. He says, what are you learning about the business side of football?
I just learned that like not everyone really gets a chance. Like it's a business. Either you like work hard, you show up and everything. And if you're not doing that, you're basically done. Like you got to fight for every spot that you can to get to the starting position. If you're not a starter, you're not really going to go anywhere.
Do you have a Letterman jacket?
No, I don't actually.
Are you planning on getting one?
I'm not sure. They're like $250. I don't know.
It's a lot of money for a Letterman. They were expensive when I went through the Letterman jacket phase. I had a friend from high school. She asked, could she wear your Letterman jacket? But you don't have one. Tasha DuBose. She's an old high school friend of mine. Wonderful woman, has had an extraordinary life. She says, regarding football, are you having fun?
Oh yeah, for sure. I train every day. Like it's just normal now.
Okay. Nette Culpepper. I call her my cyber girlfriend. She follows a lot of the work that I've done on radio in the past and broadcasting. And she's a radio broadcaster herself down in Southern California for a radio station in Irvine, California. She asked this question of you. Where do you want to be by the time you are 45 and how will you get there? That's a big one.
I want to own a house for sure. I want to have a car and then like a separate car I have on my own, like just to work on, like a muscle car, like an old muscle car or something like that. And then just be financially stable, be happy. And then probably just go to school, finish school, get my diploma. And I'm going to get there just by work ethic, just keep going every day, never give up.
Good stuff. Do you have any ideas? Like, what are your top 3 colleges you would like to attend for your education purposes? And if you could play football there, wonderful. But what are your top 3 college choices as it relates to what you want to study?
I don't know, honestly, because I always wanted to be like a mechanic, but there's not like a lot of like classes for that. Like at big universities, that's usually like Skyline or like UTI or like classes like that. But like for education, I would say Utah is one of my dream schools.
The Utes.
Oregon, and then probably Florida.
The Ducks and the Gators. All right. All right. You willing to go? Are you willing to go across the country to go to college? Florida's across, all the way across, man.
I mean, if I'm playing football, I'll do it for sure.
So if Florida Gators come along and say, hey, Angel, we would like to offer you, you say, right, if it's Florida, Oregon, or Utah, if any of those come alongside, say, we want Angel, you ready to pack your bags and go?
Yeah, I'm ready for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was your first toy?
I don't really remember, but it's probably either like a soccer ball. If not, it's gonna be um, yeah, it's most likely a soccer ball. Honestly, that's I had a lot of that. It's either
You grew up playing soccer?
Yeah, I grew up playing soccer. My dad played soccer when he was in Mexico, so that's always just been a big influence on all my cousins and me.
That's what's up. That's what. Tell us a little bit about your family, man. What do you love most about your mom, your dad? If you have any siblings, what do you love about them most?
Uh, just they're just supportive. They like when I need a ride to practice, they'll give me a ride. If I need money, they'll give me money. They basically just do anything that like basically satisfy me. And like for football, they'll like take me to games and go. They'll like buy me equipment. So I feel like that and how much they care is probably the best thing about them. And then I have a brother and then I have a sister. And then my sister helps me out a lot. Uh, she cooks for me. She does a lot of things for me. And my brother, he's always showed me things about like cars. He's always helped me out with that.
All right, all right. You got a real tight family. It sounds like a family that loves each other, appreciates one another, and supports one another.
Yeah, but a lot of intensity. But
who's your favorite sports team?
uh, for what sport?
Professional, any sport. If you had to choose, all right, I'll ask you this. Who's your favorite NBA team?
Oh, I like the Bulls.
The Bulls. Who's your favorite NFL team?
Uh, I wouldn't say I really have a favorite. I just like watching. I watch every game, so it's just
That's how I'm. That's how I am. All right. What's your favorite MLB baseball team?
oh Giants for sure.
Giants. You
Yeah,
got a favorite soccer team, professional soccer?
I would say Barcelona or Manchester United.
What about NHL, National Hockey League?
I like the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are pretty nice. I don't watch it a lot.
Okay. So if all of them were playing at the same time and a random NFL football game happened to be on at the same time, you can only choose one. Which are you choosing to watch?
Most likely the NFL game. I like watching like the Steelers games. They play really good defense, so uh, I like watching the games.
Did
Like,
you get to see the Steelers versus the Ravens?
yeah, that was a good game. I was watching
That was. What'd you like most about that game? What'd you learn?
their defense, dude. They're unstoppable.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. They
I
got
have
a
a,
huge challenge coming up.
I have their defense on my fantasy, and then I have their tight end too. So
So you play
they're
fantasy football?
yeah, I play all the time.
Who's producing most for you in fantasy?
Keenan Allen, and Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is the reason why I got my first loss this past weekend. I was
Yeah,
7-0. 7-0. Now I'm 7-1. Because the guy
yeah,
I played against had Pat Mahomes.
yeah. Keenan Allen's pretty good. He puts up like 17 points at least like every week.
That's what's up. Now, who's your so you got Pat Mahomes. Are you in a two quarterback league or a one quarterback?
One quarterback.
No, I'm in a two quarterback league. So I either start, I have Russell Wilson. So, I'm good. That's why I'm 7-0. Well, 7-1 now. I got Russell Wilson. And then I switch back and forth depending upon who they're playing between Justin Herbert and my man from the Carolina Panthers. Well, I don't know why I'm missing his name right now.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. So depending upon who they're playing, they'll go into the second slot. But Russell Wilson he's a mainstay. He's doing amazing things this year
I have
in
Justin.
the NFL.
I
Say that again.
have Justin Herbert as my backup.
Oh yeah, Justin Herbert. Now it's funny. Did you get to watch Justin Herbert in college?
Yeah, I watch him pretty often.
I've watched probably every game, probably twice. And I could not believe how many people in the NFL that are analysts did not really know who this kid was. I was like,
Yeah,
you guys must have never watched this guy play. This dude's incredible. I know Tyrod Taylor is there, and it is so unfortunate how he lost his starting role.
that
But I
team
knew
has.
once he lost it, I said, you're not getting that role back. There's no way in the world they can turn that ball back over to Tyrod Taylor. And but the way in which Tyrod Taylor lost his position, for those of you who don't know, a physician was giving him an injection or something and punctured his lung right before game time. And so he has been battling with that, and all the COVID stuff. has been quite a mess. You know about that? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's kind of a incredible thing. Let's talk about food. What's your favorite food?
I don't really have a favorite food, but I like a lot of Hawaiian food, like chicken, rice, macaroni, like stuff like that. I like
Okay.
Italian dishes too, so it's pretty good.
Do you have a favorite beverage?
Uh, I wouldn't say I really have a favorite, but I drink the vitamin water, tropical mango. That one's pretty good.
Tropical
Uh,
mango. All right.
yeah, water and yeah, yeah, I don't really know what else.
What about dessert? What's your favorite dessert?
I stopped like I'm trying to stop like eating sweet things, but mm,
Yeah, well, if you're going to be a warrior at South San Francisco right now, you probably want to cut that out your diet, or you're going to be part of the throw up crew in conditioning. But you do not want to be a part of the throw up crew. I'm going to get patches for those who throw up in practice, and they're going to have to sew it on their Letterman sleeve that they were part of the throw up crew. That's what's up. Tell me
yeah.
a little bit about. I think we talked a little bit about this, but it's always worth, at least for me, hearing it because it gives us an ability to understand our progress. How do you feel about the direction of the team? I mean, you've now been on varsity 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And this will be your third year. It's your senior year, and so you've been a part of a program previously that has not won a game. Didn't mean it didn't have good players because players like you have been on the team. Excellent players. The two teammates of yours that I have already interviewed, wonderful gentlemen. They're going to be excellent on the football field. Not their fault about the record. What do you think about where the program's going?
I think he's going up. Like the confidence of the players keeps going up every day. So it's just like the more their confidence gets up, the more comfortable they get, the more clocked in they're going to be during game time. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure we win some games for sure.
What do you think about the all freshman team that is going to be playing, dominating our JV program? What do you think about those guys?
Uh, yeah, some of the players are getting really good. Like the ones I trained at Orange Park when I was student league coach. They're getting really good. They're getting to know their steps. They're getting to know their routes. Keon, Chris, Thomas, like those kids are getting better every day.
It's funny you named Keon, Chris, and Thomas. You would have been proud of them today. They were a part of that football showcase at Above It All that took place in Concord today. Amazing. Chris Govea proved to us that he deserves an opportunity to play receiver. What he did out there today was incredible. And Keon, that's just one of the toughest kids we got. And then we had Thomas, who was out there slinging the ball around. Nico was out there doing all type of stuff. Peyton Jackson was. I mean, I just too many kids to name. But we had an amazing crew, great parents that were there with us. We just had a wonderful time out there today. You would have been proud, I believe, because you would see your hard work about to be transferred and invested into these young men.
For sure.
Have you ever thought about the possibility of coaching in the future?
I've thought about it, but it's just I don't know. It's just like I don't know if I'm smart enough to be a coach, like to handle it. I don't know.
I think if you continue to grow, I think the adversity that you've been through, I think you'll have enough experience and football smarts to pull it off in time. Right now, let's not rush it. Let's get a good career going. And I tell you, if you make it to the NFL, you owe me 10% of your signing bonus. I'm just telling you that right now in front of everybody. That 10%. I don't want the truck. If you win something, they want to give you. I don't want the truck. I want 10% of the signing bonus. That's what I want. All right. So let me ask this question. What is the future of Angel Prieto? What is your future? Look into the crystal ball if there was such a thing that existed. What is your future? What do you want it to be?
I just want to see how this senior year plays out. I'm just hoping I do really good so I can start getting looked at by colleges again. Depending on how that goes, if not, I'll probably go to like a community college somewhere around here. They got some good community colleges around here that play good football. So hopefully that's another option.
Okay. What kind of music do you listen to?
A lot of rap music, I would say, like Bay Area artists.
Who's your favorite artist?
I don't know.
Who do you listen to? Who's number one on your playlist? If you put that on, you're gonna listen to that one all the way through.
I listened to this one dude. He's from Oakland. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he's brothers with Marcus Peters, the cornerback. His name's All Black. He's from Oakland.
His name is All Black, and he's from Oakland.
Yeah.
And you think he may be related to Marcus Peters?
Yeah.
The cornerback of the Baltimore Ravens, whose father, Michael Peters, is the head coach of McClymonds High School.
Yeah, I seen that.
I'm gonna find out for you. That would be. I think Marcus Peters is. I root for him. I was around McClymonds at the time that he was an athlete there. I was there after he got drafted by the Chiefs, and he came back to McClymonds and he bought them an entire brand new. I think the gray jersey. They have an amazing gray jersey, and I believe he bought those jerseys. And I was at the playoff game when he walked onto the field, and the kids just forgot they were playing football. He walked on the field in the middle of a game, and all the kids forgot that they were playing football and just really cheered him because he's from the town. He is an advocate for these kids, and I believe that he's the one that helped bring back the whole varsity Letterman jacket reality back to McClymonds, which is called the home of champions, Warriors, great alumni base. They are what we want to be in the future at South City, and we'll get there with young men like yourself. What's your favorite TV show?
Last Chance U is one of my favorite shows for sure.
Last Chance U?
Yeah, I've been watching it ever since the first season.
I only watched the last season because it was about Laney College. What did you think about it? What were your ideas?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. They just didn't make it far. That was the only thing. If they would have made it far, it would have been a better season for sure.
Yeah, it's almost like they did Last Chance U a year too late. Had they done it the previous year, that's the year they won the national title. This year, they lost to San Mateo, which is on our side of the bridge, South City. And so, but that just means the competition in junior colleges is getting more fierce. Have you ever thought about the possibility that if you don't get an offer to a four-year school, are you willing to go to a junior college to continue your football IQ and your football playing time in order to launch yourself to a four-year school?
Yeah, I've thought about it for sure. That's for sure one of my options. That's something I always thought about.
Okay. Tell me a little bit. I got one more thing because, we got a couple of athletes that are on the freshman level who are playing football for the first time. They are self-proclaimed basketball players. I believe they're football players, but they've been playing basketball their whole life. And you talked about a middle school period where you played a lot of basketball. And then when you got into your freshman year, you even went behind your parents' back to start playing football. What was it like transitioning from basketball to believing you can actually play football to the point that you play football? You do not play basketball for the high school. What was that transition like? Walk me through that.
Honestly, it wasn't that hard because elementary, I would always throw the ball around. Like there was always a football like during recess, so I always threw the ball around there. I always caught some balls. Middle school, that's when we started playing basketball. We played basketball and football, so it was honestly pretty easy for me just to transition to it. But I would say for other players, it just takes practice, just learning the essentials and the techniques, and then after that, just work on whatever else you need to work on. You'll be fine.
Okay. All right. what outside of yourself, what two players, I'm going to cut it down to two players for time. What two players on varsity are you most excited about seeing how they play this year?
I want to see how Chris plays, and want to say
Chris Garcia.
Yeah, Chris Garcia.
He's one of our running backs.
Yeah, him, and I would say Bryant
Ledesma.
He was a good freshman year, even though he played yeah.
Bryant Ledesma. You're talking about our senior.
He's gonna do the same.
You know what? I'm looking forward to see what Bryant Ledesma. I've been looking for that big guy to come out. So when Bryant Ledesma walked on the field, I said, "Oh my God, is this the guy I've been looking for?" And then when I see him run the 40, I said, "Oh my God," I almost cussed. I'm like, this dude here. And so I told him personally, I said, "There's only one thing I don't like about you." And he looked at me like, "Coach, it's my first day. What is it that, I said, "The only thing I don't like about you is that you're a senior. I wish you were like a sophomore or a junior and I had you for another year." And I feel that way about you as a senior. I'm glad that you are a part of the program, but man, I wish I had you more than 1 year. But I'm going to put everything into this year to help you move forward in this sport that you love, because I believe you to be a really good young man, a really good dude. And I want to put my fingerprints on you. I want to make sure that wherever you go, they know that I had something to do with it. And then I just want to make sure that you are set up for success. You have earned it. You have been in the trenches. You have been through a lot of darkness. Football has not given a lot to you. And that's why I want to make sure before you get out of here your senior year that you have some wonderful experiences in this sport that you love. This sport needs to give you something back. And I want to be here to make sure this sport gives you more back than you ever could have imagined, even in a short amount of time, and propel you to a future where you'll look back on these days and know that your greatness that's ahead of you is because of the goodness that is happening right now. Give me your last comments. Give me your final comments. What are your final thoughts?
Just excited to play. I'm ready for the season. California only gave us more time to prepare, so we're gonna hopefully pull everything off, pull the right strings, and we'll be good.
Wonderful. Well, you've been listening to the South San Francisco football podcast, and I'm your host and head coach, Dion Evans. Our special guest, senior number 24, Angel Prieto, and wonderful young man. Make sure you come out, get his autograph in your media guide, shake his hand, make it a firm shake, wish him well. And we're going to do everything in our power to make sure everybody knows about this young man and gets him to the next level. All right, Angel, take care, brother.
All right, go see.
All right.